This is my laundromat, and as of today, it's brought in over $260,966.12 on YouTube videos. But after a terrible decision I might have made last week, I might lose the laundromat forever. Last week, I live streamed a money collection when someone asked me if I was willing to sell my laundromat to them. I never expected it from a random subscriber, but they offered me $300,000 to purchase this laundromat. So I'm going to ask you guys, what should I do here? Should I sell the thing that has generated me almost 6 million subscribers? Or maybe I should just keep it. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, my goal is to build or own multiple laundromat locations. If I sell out now, it will give me the potential for having that dream come true. That money can be rolled over to a new site that I've found for a potential $1 million laundromat build that's going to put about $300,000 in my pocket every year. But there's a lot of safety in these machines and this building that I've already got loans for. I feel like I have two choices. I should keep this location and make it more profitable, or I could take on the big risk and get into a new laundromat. But if I choose not to sell, how do I make this place more profitable? There's a lot of risk in starting that new location, and there's a lot of safety by continuing to operate this location. But profit has to be my motivation. To refresh your financial memory, I bought this location in April 2019 for $85,000. It was a seller finance deal where they carried $70,000 of the purchase price so long as I put down $15,000. Like so many of my deals, I really don't like spending my own money. So I covered that $15,000 down payment plus an additional $25,000 of renovations on an interest-only loan at 8% that I can repay at any time. Then in 2021, I financed the full renovation of the laundromat for another $98,000. This is when I put in all the new Dexter equipment. As of today, I owe the seller $62,403 on his mortgage. My private investor, the original $40,000 on the interest-only loan, and I've paid down the Dexter equipment loan to $70,632. Now I'm down to a grand total today of $173,035. This means if I do sell the location to my subscriber for $300,000, I should clear around $130,000 from the sale, less taxes, titles, transfer fees, and whatnot. Now, if you've been watching my short format content, I've been trying to post all my weekly collections. If you've been following along through the channel's history, we're now in the 208th week of operation, and we've brought in a little over $205,000 worth of revenue for my laundromat. Now, I know what you math whizzes are thinking. You're saying to yourself, Brandon, your laundromat's only making $50,000 a year in revenue. No one in their right mind would ever buy a laundromat for 6 times what the revenue number is. Number one, yeah, your math is correct, but number two, you're a pessimist and you're using the average. So let me spend a couple minutes and tell you why you're wrong and you're missing where the real money is. In my first year of operation, the laundromat brought in only $20,000. It really shouldn't be a surprise. My first YouTube video collection on July 2019, the very first YouTube video that made me over $11,217 in AdSense, showed in that weekly collection I only brought in $145 worth of quarters. Then in year 2, with the pandemic, it only brought in another $26,000 in my second full year of operation. Last year we brought in over $65,000, and we're on track to do easily $100,000 this year, especially now that we're doing commercial laundry. This means that since my first year of operation, I've grown sales by over 400%, and I think that there's still room for improvement. We actually have tons of room in this part of the facility to put a lot more washers. All of my plumbing and fixtures are sitting right behind there. We can go up to about 24 or 25 decent washers in my building with hardly any modifications. Where I'm really going to spend my money are these dryers. I only have a total of 12 dryers in the facility. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening, all of my dryers are full and I've reached my max capacity. If I want to get more than $10,000 to $12,000 per month, I'm either going to do it all through commercial drop-off, or I'm going to have to double the size of my location.
But for the time being, I think we need to break down my washer and dryer income to just see how much money my larger washers make versus the smaller ones, which means it's time to go collect some quarters.
Now I've got several different buckets here because we're going to split the collection up because it's going to help with some of the math that I've got to do in the later video, because I need to know how much money each one of my machines are making and then run them through the quarter counter.
For front load washers, I have a total of 13 20-pound washers, which is in one collection. I also have 4 30-pound washers, which is also included in the collection. And then I have one very large 60-pound washer that, based on the size of it, does the majority of sales on a per machine basis. Okay, so let's take the numbers from the coin collection and break them down depending on what machines they came from. For the 60-pound washer, it ends up being $127 over a 4-day period, which comes out to about $32 a day, or a little shy of 3 turns on the machine per day. The 40-pound washers brought in $252 in 4 days, right about $63 per day, or 3.25 turns a day on average. The 20-pound washers were at $346 in 4 days, or $86 per day, 2.6 turns per day per machine, and I've tried to adjust it based on the number of machines that we have. All in all, that's $181 per day worth of revenue just off the machines. The loan total in the end is about $170 over the course of 4 days, so 43 less than 181 is a total of $138.
All right, so we're a little over $1,000 total over the weekend, which is pretty good in washer and dryer income. But the reason that we've got to go through and break down the income is because of 2 big things. Number one is that I legitimately have the world's filthiest laundromat basement. In fact, we never film down here. Most of the people on my video crew doesn't know that this place exists. My maintenance crew and I think that somebody actually used to live down here. There's a door right over here that had at one point exterior access to the outside world, but they blocked it in, and why would you need something like that unless you're living in a really dirty basement? And number 2 is that my laundromat's actually pretty decently sized. You're used to me only filming in the laundromat, of course, my office / laundry drop-off area, and once in a great while, my boiler room. But in general, you've never seen me film in the bathroom, the old dryer area / my furnace room / the tool room, or my rather big garage. In the end, for social media, I only film in about 1,200 square feet of my laundromat, but the whole facility is actually 2,700 square feet. The reason that we don't film in most of the laundromat is because it's mostly wasted space. And the long story short is I'm absolutely terrified of personally signing on debt. I'm only personally liable on the $70,000 remaining balance for the Dexter loan. On the investor hard money loan at 8% and the seller finance mortgage, I never personally signed on them. I did them with no money out of my own pocket, no personal credit involved, because my parents absolutely destroyed their life through personally signing on loans. Back in both 1992 and 1997, my dad ran a trucking business. Both those years he blew engines, and it put our family in tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt. After it's all said and done, they probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of interest on their credit card loans that they used to finance new motors for my dad's truck. The thing is, they felt so personally ashamed they never discharged their debt till about 13 years ago through Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It's something that always sits in the back of my mind and terrifies me, if we would be honest about it, with getting in more personal debt for my laundromat. And that's why this decision to either sell the laundromat or build a new one is so personally difficult for me. In either case, I've got to get a loan, and it'll cost about $150,000 to put new equipment in the back, blow out the wall, and put some more money down towards repaving the parking lot. Those are things that I have to do in order to grow this location to where it deserves to be. Because if I don't do it, at some point my competitors are going to take that risk, and they could put me under, or at least hamper the money that I am making off this location, even as little as it is.
Let's spend some time now and go get some money from the bill exchangers.
All right, that takes us to $203,939 if my accounting's correct. If it isn't clear, if you're the kind of person that wants me to personally help you find, finance, and purchase a laundromat, car wash, or maybe even a profitable apartment complex, I would love to talk to you how I can do just that. Visit investmentjoy.com and click on the big orange button that's in the middle of the screen that says Start Your Business, and we'll talk about how to actually do that. Thanks so much.